Hi, everyone. I thought I'd just take a little bit of time to go through this population pyramids activity. Sort of a hit and miss with this one. I had about half the class knock it out of the park, and then the other half just totally swung and missed. So, what I'm going to do is just provide you with all the answers for this activity, and it'll instead be recorded as part of your learning skills in that you've completed the activity, but there won't be a mark that's going to be recorded. So, where people sort of went astray, first of all, most people were able to go, well, how old will you be? Um, what's the population of Canada going to be in 1950, and then in 2050? So there's the population total there. But where people went astray was, what are the percentages for each of the demographic stages for each time period? So children under the age of 15 for 1950, we go down here and we just take a look. Okay, under the age of 15 would be 4.2 plus 4.9 plus 6.1 plus 5.8 plus 4.7 plus 4. And that all adds up to be about 29%. So, what a lot of people were giving me was like this range. It was like somewhere between 5.8 and 6.1 or something along that line. Anyway, I'm not sure what you were thinking of, but these are the numbers that you should end up with. So what you'll end up seeing is that the percentage of children in 1950 was pretty big, 29.7. Lots of large families back then. People had 4 or 5 children on average to a family. And by 2050, we're expecting closer to 1 to maybe 2 children per family. So that's why we're seeing a big drop of the number of children between 1950 and 2050. Working adults, we're going to see a bit of a drop, but we're going to see a dramatic increase in the amount of older people. So people are living longer, living healthier lives, better medication, you name it. So as a result, people are going to live longer, and as a percentage of our population, that's going to really move up. So when it comes to the questions, looking at that, so where is this? What are the major changes you see between 1950 and 2050? Explain why you think there's such a difference for the children. So it's just children are expensive. If you look through at any of the stats, it's something like $300,000 to raise a child between birth and post-secondary education in Canada. So as a result, people have just simply decided to have smaller families. When you look at the older adults stage, we see that once again, like I mentioned, it's dramatically increasing because people are living longer for a variety of different reasons. The very last question, in a brief paragraph, explain how the Canadian population is predicted to change over the 100 years, and what factors do you think will play a role in how different our population is? So, the big thing is children. Do you think that suddenly we're going to roll back to this, stage whereby people were having 4 or 5 children, or do you think this trend of having smaller and smaller families is going to continue? And the main driver of that is women's rights. Back in the 1950s, women didn't have, well, they had rights in Canada, but there are a lot fewer options available to them, and as a result, women didn't enter the workforce in the same numbers as men did, and as a result, we're at home and having more children. But now, you take a look at the University of Guelph, it's got more women than it has men at it. So women are entering the workforce in large numbers and delaying marriage. And so the average age of a Canadian bride or groom is over the age of 30 now. And so, given that people are getting married later and having children later, the likelihood of going back to having 4 or 5 children is pretty low. So, and likewise, we should expect that trend of people living longer lives simply because our healthcare system and our lifestyles are getting better. Now, you might argue that people are eating too much fast food and so on, so perhaps we'll see a dip because of people not eating healthy. But there certainly is a lot more awareness about eating well and exercising. So you might be able to argue that one either way. So anyway, that's what I was looking for that activity, and I hope it clarifies it for you.